Alright, so Mr. Beast again is apparently being cancelled on Twitter for what it seems to be the third time in the last month. Mr. Beast for some reason really cannot stay out of drama, and after what we are going to be talking about today, you guys are definitely going to see the worst of it. So to start this off, Mr. Beast was in a clubhouse call with about 10 other people. Now I'm not too sure what exactly he was doing in this call, but basically what Mr. Beast did is that he didn't want as many people in the call as what there actually was at the time. So he did what any other logical human would do, and he kicked out 2 random people so it would sort of thin the herd a little bit. So he didn't have as many people in the call, which in no way is a bad thing. Like, people might think, oh, he's being rude, you know, he's just kicking out 2 random people, but to be honest, I mean, it was the owner of the call, he can do what he wants. But the problem, I say that in quotation marks, about what Mr. Beast did, is that Mr. Beast kicked out a person whose name he couldn't pronounce. Now, before I go into this any further, I'm gonna do a bit of self-promoting real quick, just because I feel like it. If you guys haven't followed my Instagram yet, make sure you do that. It's at GliderGuyYT. Make sure you follow that for epic posts and all that sort of stuff. And make sure you join my Discord server. We're about to hit 5,000 members, and it would be great if you guys could join. If you want to become part of the under 5,000 members sort of club, I guess you could say, in the Discord server, make sure you click the link in the description and join that. Become a member today, yeah. But anyway, when this clip of Mr. Beast basically kicking out 2 people from his clubhouse call got leaked onto the toxic wasteland of Twitter, everyone somehow came to the conclusion that Mr. Beast is a racist. Yeah, I don't understand it either, but basically there was a tweet here saying this: breaking news that will most definitely change your life. Mr. Beast accused of racism after removing someone from Clubhouse. According to the accuser, again, I don't know how to say that name, which again, Mr. Beast didn't know how to say it. Mr. Beast removed him due to his name. Some question this version of events since the tape appears to tell a different story. Now, I'm gonna play this clip now, and I want you guys to comment down below, do you think that Mr. Beast intentionally got rid of this guy because of his name?
Really interesting.
So
all right,
I thought it was
so Colin,
indicating that you had something to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna yote you, Colin. Thank you for coming up. Sorry, I'm really bad with names. I'm gonna yote you as well. Cool.
Now please, can somebody explain to me what was wrong with this clip? I genuinely don't get it. Like, I guess some people could come to the conclusion that Mr. Beast was, I guess it was removing him because of his name. But me personally, I don't think he was removing him because of his name. I mean, if you can see in the video, that the 2 guys were basically on the bottom of the list, meaning that it was easier for Mr. Beast to kick them. Like, I don't even know why this is an issue. Like, the reason Mr. Beast kicked these 2 is because they were on the bottom of the list and they were the easiest to get to. I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that he couldn't pronounce this guy's name. And now this guy who Mr. Beast kicked is now going on Twitter, basically rampaging about how Mr. Beast is a racist. Just blatantly calling it out for him, but just calling him a racist with no actual proof. And if you call him kicking out 2 people that he didn't want in the call as proof, then just get out of here. Like, it's just not. So we have a few tweets here from this guy, so I'm gonna read this out now. Mr. Beast just threw me out of his stage on Clubhouse after bringing me up saying, I can't spell your name, so let me yote you out. Yote is past tense for yeet, so I'm pretty sure that means throw you out. So basically, this guy's trying to say that Mr. Beast kicked him out because of his name, which I just, after watching that clip, I can't see it. I cannot get the vibe that Mr. Beast, because he kicked out 2 people, that's the thing. Mr. Beast kicked out 2 people, and one of them had a name that most people who speak English could probably pronounce. So I don't get why this guy's trying to say that it was out of racism, because then why would he kick out the guy whose name he could pronounce quite easily? I just don't get it. He asked the audience to put out photos of himself with Gary Vee, so I did. He invited me on his stage filled with white dudes only, skipped me twice, then came back and cut me to say that. I didn't even place a word in. This isn't a case of cancel culture, this is racism, blatant racism. Okay, I gotta stop you right there. So this guy's saying that he's not trying to cancel Mr. Beast, basically, but then falsely accuses him of being racist. Like, pick one or the other. There is no correlation here, mate. You're putting out 2 different opinions that contradict each other. You can't say that you're not trying to cancel Mr. Beast and then go on to say that he's racist because he kicked you out of a call, because you think he kicked you out of the call because of your name, which is not true, by the way. Again, like, I just can't see it. I can't see how Mr. Beast kicked you out because of your name. I'm disgusted, and I feel shocked, to be honest. He was on my stage for a whole tour the other night. Shake my head. Racism is not okay. I don't care how rich or famous you are. I don't care how clean your brand is. Allowing this in front of 1,400 people is not right. I feel disgusted tonight. Mate, you should feel disgusted in the fact that you think that Mr. Beast is being racist and you're trying to cancel him over it. This just wasn't racist. Like, how can you come to that conclusion, like, logically? I get that maybe you might have dealt with this stuff in the past, but that doesn't mean that every single time someone kicks you out, it's because of racism. Like, you have to look at the context behind it. Mr. Beast obviously didn't want 10 people in the call. That's why he kicked 2 of you. He kicked a guy whose name was Collins. Like, Collins, like, that's such an easy name to say. And just because your name is a little bit difficult to say, doesn't mean that Mr. Beast is being racist. Again, like, how do you come to the conclusion? I don't get it. And then one of the guys who was in the call with Mr. Beast and basically saw this whole thing unfold, he tweeted out this: I was in the room. I do not remember what the exact quotes are, but I didn't get that vibe. I remember he was trying to be kind and let people know that he doesn't like big stages, so he was about to boot a few people off the stage to shrink it down. It did not seem targeted at all. And I can completely agree with that, considering the fact that Mr. Beast kicked a guy whose name was pretty easy to pronounce, and not just the guy whose name wasn't easy to pronounce. I don't know why it matters at all, because like I said before, that these guys were both at the bottom of the list. It was easy to just kick them out. Clubhouse has recordings of the room, so everyone will be able to hear in context and decide for themselves. More importantly, I suggest reaching out to Jimmy directly and letting him know how you felt so he can resolve it. And I'm sure his heart would be love. I was there, and that's not what happened or what he said. He said that he was making the room smaller and move multiple people off the stage at the same time. His decision was to remove you from the stage, and it had nothing to do with your name. And again, I'm pretty sure the reason he kicked him and Collins is because it was easier to get to, like they were on the bottom of the list. And it sucks that you're on the bottom of the list at the time, but that's just bad luck. Like, that's not your fault. That's got nothing to do with your name. It's just unlucky. Like, get over it, mate. Like, just because you can't talk to Mr. Beast anymore because he wanted to trim the herd a little bit, like, that's not racism. And I love how this guy's trying to say that this isn't cancel culture. Like, yes, it is. You're literally calling out someone for racism with literally no good evidence. Like, there's no logical reason for you to tweet all this stuff out. Like, I don't get it. Fairly easy solution for not being able to pronounce someone's name is just to ask, can you pronounce your name correctly? And yes, I do get this to an extent, but at the end of the day, Mr. Beast didn't really have to do that. He was just trying to kick 2 people out of the call, so I don't understand why he has to do that. Like, at the end of the day, they weren't going to be in the call, so it wouldn't really matter if Mr. Beast knew his name or not. And he didn't do it with Collins, so I don't understand why he'd have to do it with the other guy. And then we have a few people who for some reason agree with this guy who got kicked out of the call. That's seriously messed up, man. Sorry that happened to you. And I could understand why this guy thinks that, because he probably didn't see the original clip where it does actually have context. But this guy's just going off the original guy got kicked off. He's going off his word, which is not, it's not really what actually happened. Like, maybe if this guy put in the video of him actually getting kicked, maybe these guys who are agreeing with him would understand that maybe Mr. Beast isn't actually being racist here. So yeah, this is just a really stupid situation and something that Mr. Beast definitely shouldn't have to deal with. I really don't get why people don't just leave Mr. Beast alone. He really does not deserve to get cancelled. Out of all people in the internet, like out of all people, you can't do it to like Jake Paul or some scum of the internet. You decide to do it to Mr. Beast instead, who's given away so much money. He's such a humble guy. Mr. Beast is probably the most unracist person on the platform. Like, at the end of the day, Mr. Beast he just doesn't deserve it. I don't know how else to put it. He just doesn't deserve to be cancelled. Anyway, with that all being said, thank you all for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and yeah, make sure you follow my socials. All links will be in the description. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.